Okay. What's going on, people? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, and this is another episode of Sports Plus Life. You already know that it's going down today, my G. So turn it off, turn it all the way off, boy. Oh, what's going on? Allow me to reintroduce myself again. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, and this is Sports Plus Life, that sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary hotness up in the world of sports, and we definitely put some of that life topic in the mix of it too, depending on how pathetic or how funny or how just weird it may be. But anyway, this is a late start for me because I was just doing some spring cleaning on my computer. I was trying to do this. I was trying to start this show about an hour ago, and my software said disk is too full or system overloaded. Really. I was like, bruh, hold up. Because I've been doing a lot of, I don't know if you follow my YouTube page, I've been doing a lot of DJ Braveezy stuff, making these mixes, really, really long mixes, and that's just taking up like some hella memory. Plus, I have about 6 years worth of memory on this computer since I got this thing back in 2014. But I done cleaned it up. I still got some more that I need to do. All of my old Sports Plus Life episodes, this is episode number 71. I deleted all but one, episode number 70. They're on YouTube, so they're in the clouds. I can see them. I can listen to them anytime I want. I don't have to keep them on my software anymore because it's out in the clouds. It's in the world. It's in the air. It's in the cyberspace, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a good day. It was a nice, chill, kind of spring-like day here in Richmond, in the Richmond, VA. But it is Monday, March 2nd, 2020. You feel your boy knocking. Do you feel your boy knocking? If you feel your boy knocking, let me in. But anyway, it's some things that I want to talk about today. It's definitely some things that need to be discussed. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get to it. All right. Well, the first thing that I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to lead off with the same thing that I led off with the last show, because the papers have been submitted, the right has been exercised, and there will be a third fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder for the lineal and WBC heavyweight championship of the world. The talks were pretty serious pretty quickly. The day after the fight, 2 days after the fight, Deontay Wilder said that he would definitely exercise his rematch clause, then came out with the whole costume made my legs weak and all of this other stuff. But whatever it is, he has said that he's going to fight him again. Now, this is what my man's had to say.
Hello, my people. My Bomb Squad Army. My Bomb Squad Nation. To all my loved ones around the world. I just want to let you know that I am here. Your king is here. And we ain't going nowhere. For the war has just begun. I will rise again. I am strong. I am a king. They can't take my pride. I am a warrior. I'm a king that will never give up. I'm a king that will fight to the death. And if anyone don't understand that, don't understand what it is to go to war, don't understand what it is to fight, we will rise again. We will regain the title. I will be back. We will hold our heads up high. Your king is in great spirit. And we will rise like a phoenix from the ashes and regain the title. I'll see you in a few months. For the war has just begun. All my love to all my people.
Well, I will say that that was dramatic and very dramatic. I'm not going to say unnecessary or anything else like that. I don't know about the whole "you're king," I mean, to each his own. I mean, he's my favorite heavyweight, and I do love Bomb Squad, but that's just me, you know. But be that as it may, nobody is really giving him much of a chance to win this third fight against Tyson Fury. Now let's just get down to brass taxes as far as, the fight element. You have to love the self-belief that Deontay Wilder has in himself, because if you watch the fight, that was an ass whipping. It is what it is. It was an ass whipping. Of course, we've all heard the thing in regards to the costume that he wore in, and nobody is really buying it because, for one, he tried the costume on the day before, and if you knew it was that heavy, why the hell would you wear it? Biatch. So now, and I'm not saying that what he's saying isn't true. Like I said the last show, I didn't wear the costume, but I just would not have made that public. Okay, Tyson Fury, you got it. You were the better man. I'm gonna exercise this rematch clause, and we're gonna get it on again. Most people that I've listened to from sports analysts, excuse me, experts like Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, all the way to Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy, does not give Deontay Wilder much of a chance at all. They're thinking that the turnaround is just too quick. Not necessarily because when you have dynamite power like Deontay Wilder has, you always have a puncher's chance. But they're talking about the turnaround. Deontay Wilder was beat up in the ring. It's not like he got hit with a haymaker or he just got simply outboxed for 12 rounds. Deontay Wilder was beat up. He was beaten up in the ring. The bully got bullied and got his ass beat. It just is what it is. I'm just speaking truth into this matter. You got knocked the fuck out, so man. The fight is actually scheduled. What it looks like it's going to be scheduled for July 18th, which is the day before my birthday. How about that? Which, like I said, kind of makes me say, damn, because I'm trying to be on the beach. I'm trying to be at the beach July 18th and the 19th. And and if you know me, when I order these fights, I be at the crib. God damn! You know what I'm saying? I be at the crib. I might have a little fight party or whatever. But as soon as they said summertime, I said, watch. I said, just watch this shit be the weekend of my birthday. And sure enough, July 18th, that's when the fight is supposed to happen. My birthday is July 19th. I'm praying that they push the fight back a week or they move it up a week. I'm being dead serious. I'm being so serious. Or else I'm just gonna have to find somewhere in Virginia Beach to watch it, unless the place I'm gonna be staying at, which I don't know where it's gonna be at yet, a suite or a hotel, whichever, wherever I'm gonna be staying at, unless I can get the fight on pay-per-view there, then but you know what? No, yep. Unless I get the fight on pay-per-view there, then we'll see. But anyway, like I said, back to brass taxes. I'll say it again. What Deontay Wilder needs to do is he needs to completely change up his style as far as his activity. We know that he has the dynamite right hand, but he needs to be busier. He definitely needs to be busier, because Tyson Fury is probably going to come in with the same game plan. And I'm pretty sure he'll probably weigh about the same. He'll come in with the same game plan, more confident, even more confident than he was in this previous fight, basically saying, yeah, you've got punching power, but that's it. Other than that, you can't box. you're overrated. I'm pretty sure that's what Tyson Fury has been thinking about Deontay Wilder for a very long time. What Deontay needs to do, again, is be active. When you get in the ring, you have to let your hands go. And you don't need to come in at 231 pounds. While you look like a chiseled statue, you didn't look like you were out of shape, but just because he gained 16 pounds doesn't mean you need to put on 19 pounds, because if he's going to be charging at you like a bull, you need to get out the way. Because the power you have in your right hand, hey, if you got to knock him down, keep knocking him down till he don't get up, so be it. And for Tyson Fury, for his point of view, just do exactly what you did the last time, except for the whole licking blood thing, because that shit was kind of out there. But if you're Tyson Fury, all you got to do is do the same thing. And again, I'll say it again, the person who is really winning in this situation is Anthony Joshua. Now, Anthony Joshua, when Deontay Wilder, and this is what gets on my nerves about Anthony Joshua and his punk-ass camp. What gets on my nerves about that is, killing me with this. The day after Deontay Wilder says, I'm going to exercise my rematch clause so we can fight for a third time, the very next day, here come the reports. Anthony Joshua offers Tyson Fury a fight in 2021. God damn! Bruh. If you really want to see like I gave the example last time of Adonis Stevenson. If Anthony Joshua wanted to fight either of these dudes, he'd have been ringside at that fight in Las Vegas, and as soon as the winner was announced, be it Fury or Wilder, he would have got in that ring and been like, what's up? Biatch. Let's unify these belts. I don't think that you guys can beat me. Well, I don't think whoever the winner, if he really wanted to fight Tyson Fury, he should have had his black ass in the ring at Vegas when the fight was over. God damn it! And that is nothing new to boxing. It happens all the time. All the time. Anthony Joshua and his camp are full of shit. They want to offer Tyson Fury the fight when they know Deontay Wilder more likely than not is going to exercise the rematch. Now, Deontay Wilder said in that little audio that they can't take his pride. Well, I do think his pride is what's making him fight this fight, particularly so quickly. I do think pride has a lot to do with it, because he's embarrassed, and he was even more embarrassed when he heard the backlash from that whole costume fiasco. Sorry, bro, you should have kept that to yourself. But what makes me mad about Anthony Joshua is because he really don't want to fight neither one of them. He waits until they already have a prior commitment, then say, well, hey, you want to fight? Well, we offered him. Get the fuck out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Because you're playing games. And now Anthony Joshua has just signed on to fight Pulev. I don't know if these European fighters, I don't know if I'm saying their name correctly, but he has signed on to fight a fight. And nobody's going to pay attention to that. They're not. The boxing world, as far as the heavyweight landscape is concerned, right now, Anthony Joshua, while he has 3 belts, he doesn't even matter right now. And this isn't my opinion. He doesn't matter to me because he doesn't really want to fight. He doesn't really want to fight these guys. He really doesn't. So July 18th, be on the lookout. Fury Wilder 3. And I said the last time that they going to get my money, but I don't know now. because you know, this is around the birthday time, bruh. And I'm trying to turn up. I'm trying to be oceanfront somewhere. But anyway. Oh, man. What is the next topic? Oh, it is March 2nd. So that means we are just a couple of weeks away from one of my favorite times of the year, March Mother Loving Madness. Now, I haven't talked much college basketball for the same reason I haven't talked much NBA. Excuse me. Is because, I was fully locked in on football season, and then, I definitely got into this boxing match, but I love this music. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's about that time. Conference tournament should start. Actually, the CIAA tournament was just this weekend. And I thought that was a little early, but hey, people went down to North Carolina and turned up. But this has been a college basketball season that's been kind of strange, and I say that because there is no one dominant team that really catches the eye and makes you say, oh my goodness, that is the team to beat. They are the ones who the majority of the viewing public or even the experts, so-called quote-unquote experts, would say, hey, this team is probably going to cut the Nets down. I mean, it's been so many number one, so many top 10 teams have been upset. And if you look at the top 25, it's kind of weird. Now, we all know I support my Virginia teams. I love the Cavaliers, the defending national champions. I love my Cavaliers, have since I was a little boy. I love the VCU Rams, have since I was a kid. I have nothing but mad respect for Virginia Tech, Radford, Old Dominion, JMU, George Mason, James Madison. I support Virginia sports. Now, realistically, when the season started, UVA was ranked in the top 10, but there was one point in the season where they were 12-6, and they did not look like they look like they may actually miss the tournament. But they have won 9 of their last 10 games. They're 21-7. They just got back into the top 25 this week because of their Saturday victory over Duke, who was number 7 at the time. And UVA is 21-7. They are still, until proven otherwise, they are the reigning, defending national champions of the NCAA. Period. Now, why I say this season is weird is because, like I said, no dominant team. Right now, Kansas is number 1 in the country. They're 26-3. That might sound good, and, it's Kansas, but, I'm not moved by any. Last year, everybody said, when you before the season started, you saw Duke, and you saw Zion, and R.J. Barrett, and Cam Reddish, and you were like, yeah, that team is probably going to end up going to the Final Four. Of course, they didn't. We know who ended up cutting down the Nets. It was UVA. Matter of fact, there was complaints about last year's Final Four because there was no quote-unquote blue bloods in it except Michigan State. And I was just like, get the fuck over it. And what did we end up getting? We ended up getting one of the best national championship games that we've seen in quite a while between Virginia and Texas Tech. Now, as I was saying, Kansas is ranked number 1. They're 26-3. Gonzaga is 29-2, but Gonzaga has the same record at the same point every year. Dayton is surprised. This is the highest they've been since the 50s. They're number 3. They're 27-2 out of the A10. Baylor was number 1 for about 2 months, 2.5 months. They've lost 2 of 3, but they're still number 4 in the country. They're 25-3. San Diego State, they're 28-1. They have the best record. But do you believe in the Aztecs? Where, particularly out here on the East Coast, when we don't see any of their games. I've watched a couple. They're very good, but you have to look at the competition that they are playing. Kentucky is number 6. Very quiet year for Kentucky. They're 24-5. Florida State from the ACC is 24-5. They're ranked number 7. Seton Hall from the Big East is 21-7. They're ranked number 8 in the country. Let me ask a question right quick. How the hell is Seton Hall ranked number 8 in the country at 21-7, and you got UVA with the same record, who has beaten a couple of top 10 opponents this season, sitting at number 22, and just getting back in the top 25 in the rankings? How does that work? I looked at that this morning, and I was like, huh? And I got love for Seton Hall. Little secret, when I was a kid, around the ages of 6, 7, and 8, I actually really liked Seton Hall. Like their basketball program. I used to say that's where I was going to go to college when I grew up, in Seton Hall in New Jersey. These are my real NCAA basketball fans who are a bit older than me. I was a fan of Terry DeHare, Anthony Avent, Gordon Winchester, Oliver Taylor, coached by PJ Carlissimo. If you are older head and you just heard me say that, you're like, well, damn, he know what he talking about. For real. But like I said, I'm just like, yo, how is Seton Hall 21-7 ranked 8, and the defending national champions in the ACC is 21-7 and ranked number 22. I mean, how does that happen? I don't understand. But let me get back to the rankings. Maryland is number 9, 23-6. Louisville from the ACC is number 10, 24-6. So there we go. Got your top 10. I mean, with the records, this is an odd top 25 because, you know, you got BYU, who's 24-7. They're ranked number 15. And I say BYU because they're rarely ranked, just like Penn State, who is number 20 at 21-8. We know Penn State to be a football school, you know. At the same, well, no, Wisconsin is usually, and Wisconsin was in the national championship game a couple years ago, lost to Duke. But I'm looking at the record. They're 24th in the country, and they're 19-10. Michigan, who is 18-11, they're ranked number 25. What? I'm not trying to be a homer. Well, maybe I am, but the Richmond Spiders have a better record than that. But I can't wait till conference tournaments. It is one of the best times of the year. And like I said, no dominant teams. To me, this is a wide open field. You know, I came into this season not expecting my Cavaliers to repeat or anything like that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're getting far, because if they get pretty far in the tournament again, because nine out of their last 10 games, I would say 7, probably 8 of their wins have been all one possession. Been one possession games. They just beat Duke by 2. They beat Duke by 2 on Saturday. They beat Virginia Tech by 3 in Blacksburg. They beat Pittsburgh by 3. Only one game they really truly handled. They beat Boston College by 13. You know, they beat North Carolina by 2. They beat Notre Dame by 1. They beat and when this thing started with Wake Forest back in late January, they won by 2. They beat Florida State, top 10 team, by 5, and they beat Clemson by 7. So they have been the cardiac Cavaliers over this time period where they have reestablished themselves as a major player, not just in the ACC, but also nationally as well. And like I said, I'll say it again because I love hearing myself say it because it's the motherfucking truth. They are the reigning, defending national champions of college basketball. And what's crazy is that since Tony Bennett has been on this great run and really establishing himself as a top-tier coach in college basketball, this has been a down year for Virginia. They're 21-7. This is considered a down year for Virginia, and it just so happens the ACC is weak this year. I mean, the ACC is very weak. Who's sitting at the top of the ACC? Louisville. Louisville is sitting at the top of the ACC right now, with second, I believe, going to let me see, because Duke was number 3, but Virginia has now supplanted them for number 3 in the ACC. Let's see, Louisville is number 1. I'm sorry, Florida State, you know, who's ranked 7th in the country. And then you have Duke and Virginia tied for number 3 and 4 respectively, but you know, Virginia just got the head-to-head, so it is what it is. This is a weak ACC. Syracuse not going to the tournament this year. They're 16-13. North Carolina is dead last in the ACC. I don't know if you've ever heard that. Ever. North Carolina ain't even going to the NIT. They're so horrible this year. I mean, I'm serious. I am dead serious about that. North Carolina sucks. They do. But I'm definitely going to be keeping up a lot with college basketball within the next month, because it's time. It's time, baby. It is time. And it is also time to talk about that NBA. You know, it is time to talk about that NBA of the A. We get into the nitty gritty now in the NBA. Last night was the Pelicans versus the Lakers. The second time they faced off, actually this week. And, you know, everybody's been talking about, you know, LeBron versus Zion. You know, it didn't disappoint. I'm gonna have to tip my cap because, you know, you guys have heard me talk about Zion Williamson in regards to him needing to be in shape, and I'm not gonna back off of that statement. I think Zion Williamson is still overweight for the way that he plays the game, but damn, this dude is, I mean, you talk about a dude who is ready, and he's only played, he hasn't even played 15 games yet because he was hurt with his knee. Now, I'm not one of those people who's going to sit here and say he should win Rookie of the Year because Ja Morant has been absolutely magnificent as well. I'm not going to say Zion should win Rookie of the Year because I don't think that would be right to automatically give Rookie of the Year to a guy who will only have played one quarter of the season as opposed to another rookie who has played the full season and could possibly be leading his team to the playoffs. But I tell you what, if the Pelicans do get into the playoffs, then he probably will win it. If the Pelicans are close enough, and they're close right now, they're close. They're 3 games out. But if this comes down to like the last day of the regular season type thing, and Zion particularly keeps putting up the numbers that he's putting up, he had 35 points last night. I believe Zion is averaging about 27 points a game, around between 25 and 27 points a game. No, I'm sorry. Zion is averaging 23 points a game. But still, you know, being the fact that I believe he's exceeded expectations. You know, he's exceeded expectations for what we thought that he would be coming into last year's draft. But I wouldn't be surprised nor mad at if there was co-rookies of the year. You know, you haven't seen that, and again, I'm looking at Zion's stats now. He's averaging 24 points a game, but you haven't seen co-rookies of the year since 1995 with Jason Kidd and Grant Hill when they shared that award. But I don't think you can just totally snatch that from Ja Morant, being the fact that, and I'm gonna tell you why. We were hearing about the Pelicans all summer, a lot of it because of Zion, but also because of the trade from Anthony Davis to the Lakers. Name me 5 players on the Memphis Grizzlies roster. Only ones I can think of is Morant, Jackson, and Valanciunas. Name 5 players from Memphis. We can name 5 players off bat from the Pelicans: Zion, Drew Holiday. Then you got the players that was in the trade: Brandon Ingram, who was an all-star; Lonzo Ball, who we've heard about since UCLA; Josh Hart. They got JJ Redick. You know, we know about the Pelicans, but we were expecting absolutely nothing from the Memphis Grizzlies. The only thing that you've heard about the Grizzlies other than Ja Morant was the fact that Andre Iguodala didn't want to play there when he got traded. So I don't think you can just snatch that award from Ja Morant, even though Zion Williamson has been absolutely awesome. But off of the Pelicans, you know, we still have some things that need to be that need to come to fruition, that need to be settled and taken care of in regards to the NBA. Now, as far as the standings goes, number 1 in the East and the West, that hasn't changed. I don't think it will. The Milwaukee Bucks, to me, I think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win 70 games. I do. At first, I didn't think so. But, I mean, you look at they've played 60 already. They played 60 games. They're 52-8. I'm not saying that they're going to beat the Warriors 73-9, they would have to go undefeated the rest of the season. That's not going to happen. I'm not saying they're going to pass the Bulls 72-10, and I'm not saying they're going to finish 71-11, but I do think they'll finish the season 70-12. I do think that because they've played 60 games. They only have 22 left, and they would just need to go 16-4. I think they can. They would need to go, they have 22 games left, They would need to go 18-4. I think they can do that. I mean, what the other teams in the playoff hunt in the East are looking to do is they're looking to see who's going to finish second. And that's going to be pretty much interesting. To me, that is between Toronto and Boston. You know, Miami is number 4, Philly's number 5. Ben Simmons and Embiid are hurt right now. I mean, I just don't know what's going on with the Sixers because the Sixers should be number 1 in the East. They should be number 1 in the East. If not, a very close number 2. And I ain't talking about doo-doo neither. But I see Miami staying right where they are. I don't know why guys like Stephen A. Smith, who's my favorite, keeps on hyping Miami up to say that they could come out the East. They're not coming out of the East. You know, they've been a surprise. Jimmy Butler looks like he made the right choice going to Miami. Yes, they did get Iguodala, but they're not coming out of the East. They are exactly where they belong. They are about the 4th best team in the East right now. And if Philadelphia should get healthy before the season starts, they'll be the 5th best team in the East, whether they finish ahead of them in the standings or not. Okay? They're right where they should be at. To me, the best matchup with Milwaukee is either the 76ers. Well, no, I mean, they're 3 good. I mean, the defending champion Toronto Raptors is a good matchup. The Boston Celtics, they're so deep and they're playing so much better this season. Jason Tatum has taken his game to a whole nother level. And the Philadelphia 76ers because of talent alone. But I think the Bucks are going to win 70 games. In the West, still the Lakers. You're battling to see who's going to be number 2, which is important just for, like, the Clippers and the Nuggets, they have the same record. They're 41-19. It's important to both because home court to me doesn't matter when it comes to the Clippers and the Lakers. It's the same building. But if you want to, but as far as the second round, I'm pretty sure that matters, particularly to the Clippers, because I think they would beat Denver. I'm a Laker fan, but I'm going to keep it real. I think the Clippers are coming out of the West, especially if they're healthy. But they would make things a whole lot harder on themselves if they had to go to Denver. And you have to look out because ever since Houston made that trade, Houston has been rocking and rolling. The small ball is working, but it will only work in the regular season. Trust and believe me, the Rockets are not coming out of the West. They're going to give some teams some headaches, though. I'm going to tell you that. And do you know why? Do you know why the Rockets are going to give teams some headaches? Because I don't know if you guys have realized it. This ain't James Harden's team no more. This is not James Harden's Houston Rockets anymore. This is Russell Westbrook's team now. Russell Westbrook, ever since the trade, has gone off. He has taken off. He has turned in. He's playing the best ball of his career. This is not James Harden's team anymore. This is Russell Westbrook's team now. And I think James Harden knows that, and because they're such longtime friends and they cool like that, I don't think he cares. Because he needs somebody like him. I've said it before. I will say it 1,000 times. If James Harden is your number 1 option on a team, you will not win a championship. Now I'll say I know that Russell Westbrook has not been out of the first round since Kevin Durant left to go to Golden State. And it's not like Russell Westbrook hasn't had talent around him because he has had Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, Victor Oladipo. But this system, he is flourishing under this small ball system. And this is his team. Make no mistake about it. Russell Westbrook is running shit in Houston right now. Trust me when I tell you. James Harden, maybe to his credit, is deferring. But it's not going to win Houston the championship. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's not going to happen. Once you get in the playoffs and the game slows down and your biggest player on the floor is PJ Tucker, you know, and I heard they were trying to get I heard they were trying to sign. Everybody is trying to sign guys off of contracts that were being bought out, this, that, and the third. Like the Lakers are about to get Dion Waiters. They let go of Troy Daniels. Hated to see that. Troy Daniels from VCU. But they're trying to get somebody with a little size to them. I know they have Jeff Green, but meh. But the small ball is only going to get Houston, but so far. It'll get them to the second round. I believe Houston will beat Utah in the first round, and that's going to be a hell of a series too, because they're not going to have any answer for Gobert. Yeah, they can bring him out of the paint by shooting the threes, but that would be that would be the matchup right now, you know. But the matchup that I want to see in the first round, which I think would actually be the most intriguing matchup, the Oklahoma City Thunder are just a half game behind Utah for that 6th spot. Man, I hope they pull that shit off and get the 5th spot. Oklahoma City, to me, has been the biggest surprise in the NBA. Because when they made that trade, Chris Paul for Russell Westbrook, everybody and their mama just swore up and down that Chris Paul would never suit up for Oklahoma City. And when I looked at that roster, I said, you know what? Yes, he is. Matter of fact, he's going to overachieve with that roster because they have talented players, a nice mixture of youth and veterans, but none of them are at that superstar level. So Chris Paul can be the one alpha, and he will bring the best out of these players. And that is what has happened. I would love to see Oklahoma City versus Houston in the first round, just for the storylines alone. I would. And they're talking about, is LeBron catching up to Giannis in the MVP? You know, as crazy as it may sound, I think Chris Paul should really get some consideration, because Chris Paul, the Oklahoma City Thunder, were a lot like the Memphis Grizzlies. You weren't expecting anything from them. It was supposed to be rebuild mode. I mean, Sam Presti he's a damn good GM. Now, I'll always have to scratch my head at them simply because he does a great job at keeping a small market team relevant and in the limelight when it comes to the NBA. Relevancy, does a great job. But when you look at the players that he has had in the last decade, you have had multiple Hall of Famers, and 3 of the guys you've had have won the MVP. You had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden on the same team at the same damn time with Serge Ibaka. Now, he's not going to be a Hall of Famer, but with Serge Ibaka. And then you had Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, Victor Oladipo. You've had some of the greatest players the game has ever seen in the last decade, and you got nothing. You have one Western Conference championship to show for it. But let me get back to the topic. Sam Presti, he has to be the happiest man in the room, because this was seen as a rebuilding year. Not only are you having you're playing with house money, you know, and you're having a great season, but you have draft picks upon draft picks upon draft picks upon draft picks to fuck with. Even if you're not going to be low in the draft, you could trade to get a higher pick, or because I don't see nobody that special coming out of college basketball this season. I really don't. Or if you want to trade for a big name free agent, you have all of the resources in the world because of the draft picks that you got for trading Paul George and Russell Westbrook. I mean, damn. So, like I said, the season is getting very interesting. It's time of the year that I like. But it's time for me to get off that NBA topic. And, you know, with that being said, where the buzzer, where that buzzer. All right. Well, like I said, it was a later episode for me, but I was still glad I was able to do it, chop it up with my peoples today. This has been another episode of Sports Plus Life, episode number 71. If you have not pressed that subscription button, do so and become part of the Sports Plus Life family. I'm your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. I'll be back in a bit. I'm out. Holla at me. Peace.